Hello everyone, I'm Derek. This is IMSA 2020 Season 3 Week 6 at Lime Rock Park. Today I'm in the Porsche 911 RSR and we've qualified for 3rd place. We're going to go ahead and skip the warm-up lap. I'll see you guys at the start of the race. So this is going to be a bit of a longer race than my previous posted ones. Still 45-minute series. All the other ones are 45 minutes as well, but there's just so much action on a small track. This is a mixed class race, GTEs and GT3s. Already got the second pretty quick, had a good run. I don't think the guy to my left saw the Ferrari take off. I sure the hell did. However, I slide pretty much instantaneously and take out another person. Called this during practice when I got 3rd place, that either I will die or I will murder someone. I did both. So we're gonna let everyone pass me here. What was funny was when I did the qualifying and got 3rd place, I did it with a default setup. And I realized I was on a default setup. And so I switched during the start of the race. Almost get in another accident, come to a complete halt. Just at this point of the race, I'm like, screw it. I'm just gonna let everyone pass. I'm just gonna have a nice, clean race. Fall back to 31st. 31st being the last position of the race, and I still managed to come across 2 or 3 people in the back there. I think maybe a few people dropped out, so when we crossed the finish line, we're actually gonna jump up quite a few places because I don't know what happened. I know there was 31 people in the race, so that's the position I put myself at. iRacing doesn't really do a good job in replays telling you what position you're in, but I crossed the finish line, so I'm in 25th place, so from 3rd position to 25th, pretty bad. But I do have my actual setup now loaded in this race, so I'm just wanting to keep it clean. Try not to get in too many incidents, although top left-hand corner spoils that a little bit. I get 12 to 25 incidents in this race. But it was still good overall. Falling to the back has its downsides that I didn't think about fully when I did that. I got put behind all the GT3s, and I forgot that this was a mixed class race. If I knew there was GT3s in this race, maybe I would have tried to pull in a little bit quicker, but you guys saw the chaos that would have probably ensued had I actually tried to cut in front of them. They were really close. So I'm going to try to go for the pass here on the inside of the Mercedes. Get stuck behind another Mercedes as well. He looks like he's already been hit in his back. I thought he was going wide to let me through, but he didn't. He came back in. I tapped his rear end, thinking that he was going wide to let me by. Now, that's not really what happens in a lot of this. The GT3s are fighting for position with me. I overbraked there. It was pretty bad. It was a very rough start for me in this race, going from 3rd to 25th, 3rd to 31st, 25th, now 23rd. Stuck in GT3, just trying to fight forward. If you've been keeping up with me so far, you've noticed that my trying to go for the pass, but I just didn't have enough speed, so I'm gonna be stuck behind Mercedes again. I back off. I probably could have rammed it, but the way he went around the next turn on the previous lap worried me what he might do there, so I backed off. But anyways, my safety rating I think was 4.0 in the last race. IMSA was, or not IMSA, what was it? Imola was before this, and I did horrible on Imola. Imola was my first time racing Imola and first time racing the 911. So this is actually my 2nd time with the 911 here. The last week just wasn't a good week for me, but if you notice the Audi that I passed that ran off the side, he's actually going to try to cut on the inside here. I knew he was there, but I noticed he was trying to cut in too early. He's a GT3, so I'm way faster, but I also didn't mean to cut him off so much, but I knew I would get the run here. I tried really hard, pushed it really wide, and was able to get past the Mercedes, where I'm not even a problem for the Audi anymore. I was really surprised that he flashed his lights at me. I don't know if I realized it while I was in the race, but noticing it in the replay made me question what he was thinking there. My car is so much faster than the GT3. This Audi moves off to the right, thankfully. I'm gonna get stuck behind Ryan here next. first GT3 that or GTE. I say those interchangeably a lot. It's annoying, but trying to avoid doing that. First GTE that I actually legitimately have to try to pass now. Got a good run on this. I don't know why I didn't get over and get into the slipstream. I think I was still, at this point, trying to play it cautious. But I do go on the outside to put some pressure on him. Maybe I can get the pass on the outside. Very unlikely. But I managed to pull it off. One of the more unlikely places that I would try to do a pass, and I managed to do it. So now we're just try to pull away. We're gonna come up to another BMW GTE, I think. Tires are just now starting to warm up, starting to feel comfortable with the car again. I raced earlier on Spa recently. I don't know what was going on in my 911, but I was all over the place. But the setup here is pretty dang good that I'm using on Lime Rock, up to 17th place. We got a Mercedes and a BMW up ahead, followed by a lot of other cars that I can't make out quite yet. Good run. I think I was pretty confident at those turns there. He brakes hard, I brake hard. I probably should have saw that coming. I can't remember if this is the BMW that has the orange tires or not. There's one BMW that has orange tires that everyone else uses the same color default paint scheme on the BMW, so there's one BMW that has orange tires that uses the default paint scheme later on in this perspective. Again, he brakes hard again. This might be why he's behind the GT3s for so long. He should have passed them already. His braking is just a little off. So he's on. I think he let me by here, so we're just gonna catch up to these GT3s pretty quick. I never want to go for a pass on the chicane. Never. No one ever should. There are people that think that's a wise choice, but it's just not. Getting a lot of speed around this turn here. Try to catch up. Get some good passes going. Forget the shift. That cost me this pass here. I actually am just going to back off a little bit. I'm thinking in my head that I royally screwed that up, and we're just going to wait till the next straight to pass these guys. Kind of a running trend, because I try to take people on the straight if I can. It's the safest place to do it. This straight, I'd probably the next safest place to do it, depending on how much speed you get out of that first turn. I'll pass him here. Stay on the inside, just in case he was on my outside. Mike here is... I was in the mindset that I was going to be behind Mike and to get another lap with Mike. I should said take the inside, so I had to adjust real quick there. I thought when he said that and I had to take it, that I was going to fly off the track and go right into the dirt, but salvaged it and actually made it look like it was done on purpose. That's pretty good. This was a late at night race. 11 p.m.-ish Central Time. I guess Central Time doesn't really matter, but 11 p.m. in general. It's pretty late to be racing. So you don't have everyone in the same I rating that I'm in. So the next two guys are 500 and 700 and 800. So it was pretty drastic range of I ratings. It wasn't the bottom split, but it was probably the second to the bottom split. There was a couple guys in practice that had around 300 to 400 I rating that I did not see in here. So we're up to 11th place already. Good results, past a lot of GT3s. Not so many GTEs. Already starting to lap 2 people. About to lap. Lime Rock was one of my favorite tracks. I think Watkins Glen is my first. This one's either second or third. Suzuka? Is that how you say it? That's probably among my top 5 as well. There's moments where I probably could have fast forwarded through some of these straights, but you catch up to people so quick that I didn't want to have it be too jarring and going in and out of super light speed. Coming across 3-lap GT3s. He's gonna let me by. Mercedes sees me, he backs off pretty quick. Lets me by as well, thankfully. One thing I do like about the Porsche, I don't like. First, what I don't like is the heads-up display on the wheel, but I do like the traction control lights being right there on the dash. It's easy to tell when you start to slip. So when they turn blue, they're when you're slipping. If it's pink, when you're locking up your brakes. I don't quite know what the yellow means. I saw it pop up there in the middle of me talking about it. But I like the BMW's dashboard UI better. See the tire pressure on the BMW on the Porsche, you can't really. But I picked the Porsche over the BMW for this one just because of that chicane. I felt like the Porsche handled it a lot better. I was able to get around the same time with the BMW. I think most of you know probably by now that I own the BMW M8 GTE and the Porsche 911 now. And I'm more consistent with the BMW, but I felt like it was harder to get around that chicane, so I chose the Porsche 911 because I thought it handled that turn better. Coming up on a Ferrari GTE. Went wide, giving me the opportunity, but I followed his line and went wide as well. I'm going to take the inside for the chicane here. Good pass. Now, if you watched my Watkins Glen video, you know I'm scared of Ferraris on the straight line. I'm going to take the inside, kind of wiggle back to the left, keep him out of my slipstream. He stays behind. So try to lunge forward on me, thankfully. We're actually starting to catch up to a good chunk of GTEs now. Porsche in front, Ferrari behind. Pace must be pretty good to be catching up with other GTEs after the horrible ending I had, or the horrible start. Go way too fast in that corner. I have to slow down, let the Ferrari pass me. Now I actually got to legitimately fight the Ferrari for the position. While earlier he ran off the track, now I'm like, crap. I have to try to take this on the straight. So I take a lot of speed into that, but I know I just didn't have enough. So we're going to have to hope for the best on the next round. I don't even think I'm in slipstream range at this point. But he loses control of his car, slides a little bit, goes into the dirt. Perfect opportunity for me to take that position back. He goes really wide. If you watch the other camera there or the rear view mirror, he's pretty far out there. So he's not even a concern anymore. Now, I'm thinking I got to catch back up to that Porsche that I saw earlier. Looks like we got a couple more GT3s in front. This was a very fun race. This was actually my first... A lot of firsts, I guess. This was my first mixed class race. If you want to count GT3 and GT3. I did GT4 racing that calls the Cayman and the Acura cars a different class, but they really go the same speed. This is a drastic difference in that. Back behind the first Mercedes, we were behind on lap 1 or 2. I Thinking he's gonna go wide, but I'm not falling for that again, so I'm staying off the gas. I'm taking that corner. I'm gonna take him here though. For the most part, doing the chicane was very smooth in the Porsche. And the M8, I really had to swing that wheel left and right to avoid hitting the curbs. But on the Porsche, it just felt super smooth. It might be a wheel setting, but I could just fine tune. But I'm so used to the BMW kind of being the boat that it is, and the steering wheel being a little bit more stiffer. We can already see the Porsche that I was mentioning earlier. I'm starting to catch back up to him. Kevin. We got a couple other people that are still on the same lap as me. We got a spun out car in front. BMW. George? Is it George Lee? I'm just gonna call him George. I don't know what that says. He's in a black BMW, bottom left hand of the screen. His front end is gone. He has no lights. Kind of looks like a Halloween monster or something. Say he's going off into the pits. Thought that was pretty early. I don't even think my braking point into that after that straight into this long turn is really that deep. I think I take it pretty safely, and I was still able to gain a lot of time on that Porsche on that turn there. Oh! But anytime I get close to this Porsche, I seem to mess up one way or another, so I get back on track. I'm holding the inside into this turn. He does not give me the room. Seems to be a running trend here. Anytime I go side by side next to someone into a tight turn like that, they don't give me the room, although I was giving them the room. I mentioned something in comms that I'm still here, but wasn't that big of a deal. I figured I could probably make up the time somewhere else because he had such a bad front end, but that pops me back into position 9. Not the greatest. Well, actually, that was pretty good. I think I may be getting my turns mixed up. I thought I was gonna exit that one badly, but he exited there slightly faster than I could. My tires were still slipping. We got the Ferrari behind. That's position number 1. And at this point, I'm worried about him coming in range. But keep in mind, you don't get blue flagged until, well, you don't get a blue flag until you get 0.5 in range on the relative. He's still a good second behind. So I'm like, all right, take me on the straight, but like he's too far behind. I can't slow down because I need to catch this BMW. I'm not going to slow down when he's a full second behind, a little bit more than a second. So I'm going to keep pushing forward until he gets on my ass. BMW messes up. I go along the outside, give him room to rejoin, go for the pass. He also lets the Ferrari pass. I'm like, okay, Ferrari, if you can hold off till the straight, that'd be great. I say it in comms. I know he has a mic because he was talking earlier and we were talking at the start of the race. But I think he flashes me here, or maybe, but he messes up again. He goes wide into the grass and loses a lot of speed. So now he's not in that 0.5 range. He's at a second. I don't want to slow down. I'm not going to slow down that much when the BMW is right behind him. So I'm holding. I'm not going to block him, but I'm not going to just freely slow down. If he's going to get on my butt, I'll let him pass, or just before he gets on my butt. He's starting to creep up to that 0.5 relative now, but he's losing speed on some of those turns. Took the chicane pretty well, but he took it way better. So I go to the left. I'm like, okay, you can take the right. Take it now. And he didn't. I think he maybe lost control of his car a little bit there, and that's why he lost it. So he dropped all the way back again. So we're in the same situation we were in last lap. I'm not going to slow down a whole second so you can pass me. Let's do it again. I gotta catch up to these guys in front of me. The Porsche's up there, there's the BMW. I got a BMW behind me. I think everyone will agree here that slowing down a full second is ridiculous in such a tight race. We're in P8 from P31, but originally from P3. Fighting for my life here. Try to salvage a horrible situation. This is the BMW I was talking about earlier that has the orange tires. Ferrari behind. It's really close now. I'm definitely going to let him pass on the straight. I'm like, pass on my right, but he spins out. I think he just takes it to the pits at that point. So I'm like, all right, back on the gas. Target number 2, BMW in the orange tires. Figured I was going to try to go on the outside like I did earlier. It worked last time, the last BMW. Why the hell not try it again? I did not have the speed for it, so that completely failed. And this was weird. I had no plans on taking him on the chicane, but he goes on the inside, thinking that I was gonna possibly take it. I would never take the inside, but since he went inside, that allowed me to go a little bit deeper into the outside to try to take the chicane better than him. Just trying not to let me get the slipstream of going on the inside. I want to act like I'm going to take that corner and lunge, but I don't. Typical Derek move. I need to be a bit more closer until I feel confident in trying to pass him. George behind is already caught up. David's really slowing me down a lot here. Especially on this turn in particular. I'm really good at that straight, but I overshoot, getting confident in that, so then I have to let... David already was passed, but you tell I kind of worried them a little bit. David already passed, George passed, and then position number 2, this white Porsche was behind me. I was like, oh crap, I'm sorry, I didn't see you there. George runs off. So I pull off to the side. I let the Porsche go. I was like, yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't see you. So I let him by, hoping that maybe he'll put some pressure on David now. Maybe screw him up or compromise some sort of speed that he may have so I can catch up. But I think David probably in the same position that I was in earlier with the Ferrari, and he probably doesn't want to compromise his speed at all. Or he's just a stubborn guy and doesn't let anyone pass him, which I think we may see more of this later. Takes the curb hard. Porsche in front really screws up my line. It's fine in the end. That guy's pretty dang fast. He's already launched way ahead. I took that turn horribly, slid out wide, didn't even hit the apex. David finally lets the white Porsche go once he knows he's pretty far ahead of me. He didn't notice my braking point's at that 3 marker. 4 if I'm not feeling the tires, but usually it's the 3. Here we go. This turn here is where I feel confident, and I think the Porsche excels at this part of the track better than the BMW. He takes the inside again. I don't want to take it. He later says in comms that he wishes people would stop trying to try to pass him in the chicane. And I think he kind of puts that on himself because he put himself in the inside lane when he doesn't have a reason to. I, for some reason, think I'm going to pass him on the outside on that long turn. Very unsafe. I have no practice of taking that turn wide for a pass. But I do have practice taking this turn wide on a pass, so we're going to attempt this again on David. He comes in wide on me, which I have to pull my line out, so that kind of messes me up. We passed someone who ran off on the shoulder. I think that was a GT3 back marker, so nothing of note there. Mike, I think he was the race leader. This red Audi was the race leader for the GT3s. One of the red Audis were the race leader. So my line got screwed up into the chicane thanks to David. He went really slow into that turn. So, gotta play this catch-up game yet again. Major cat and mouse between David and I throughout this portion of the race. Large gap, 1.4 seconds. Yeah, we're gonna close it real quick. This right here just shows you how much he slowed me down in previous races to where I'm able to catch up like this to him. Granted, I think right there he got freaked out because of the Audi that slowed him down. But yet again, holding the inside, there's no reason to really do that. I have shown no real wants or need to pass him there, although I haven't been given the opportunity. Take this turn horribly, don't hit the apex when we get stuck behind him again, I'm thinking. But he misses his apex there, so I'm like, great, perfect. Thought I was going to hit him. But he went into the pits. And I'm clear sailing for a little bit. I was surprised how early he was going into the pits. This is lap 30. You can see in the top left-hand corner, we have 55 laps in this race. I'm in P7 now. I'm not even close to running out of fuel. So either he went off into the pits to kind of avoid dealing with me, which if any of you guys watched the race in Monza, it's a bad decision in my head to let someone else have clear sailing. And this BMW runs wide, comes back into the track. River Hayes is about to lap us behind. Again, I don't see that I'm about to get lapped on this turn. I'm like, shoot, sorry, dude. I'm blind when it comes around that corner, apparently. So I want to tell him to pass me here on the straight. He's got 0.3 seconds on me. I back off the gas here. And then I'm going to just follow him. His pace was pretty good. I was saying something earlier, but I can't remember it for the life of me. I'm going to leave that thought just die out. Someone will probably put some comments about that. Oh, Monza. Something about Monza. Huh. Man, this is going to be annoying. I'm going to be thinking about this the rest of the race. Whatever. Just want to follow River Hayes here. He lapped me, but my main goal with following him is that I really have no choice. I'm going to follow him or I'm going to fall behind. But I was thinking that if I stay close to him, he's going to be triggering blue flags for people he passes that may be on my lap. Or he can push people away and I just follow his trail. So it's like it doesn't hurt me any to just stay with me. Even if I got really close, there's some times where I actually am pretty close to the guy. I think if I didn't lose control of my car on the start of the race, my pace was probably faster than him. My car's a little bit damaged. Surprising, the damage doesn't affect me too much here. I don't hit the top speed of my car too much. Most of my damage, I think, is in the back of my car too. Almost get taken out there by a Mercedes. I think the Mercedes behind me didn't survive either. You can see in the bottom left-hand corner there that no Mercedes came out of that. Lost Rivers quite a bit because of those Mercedes, but I'm going to try to catch back up. He's already pushed this other Mercedes a little bit. They had some contact there on that turn. But I need to get around him. He slows down right there to let me pass, which caught me off guard. That was a very odd point to slow down. Usually most people will slow down on a straight, but into that turn, just out of that turn, was very, very awkward for me. I'm going to try to catch back up the Rivers to get the slipstream to pull me forward. That was also, so I had like 3 objectives here. So just stay behind him, have him push people out of the way, blue flag people, and then pull me along if I can get into a slipstream. Conserve some gas, but with the slipstream if I could. Give me to last a little bit longer. Although on a track this small, doesn't really matter. It's conserving gas, who knows? Probably a little bit. He goes really wide, allows me to catch back up quite a bit. I think our pace was pretty similar. I have to go back to the the scoring page to see what our pace was in the end. Thought I didn't brake enough. I thought I was going to come into his backside there. But I had plenty of brake room. That didn't happen. I usually shift down to third. I think I stayed at fourth that time. Okay, even my shifting pattern changed a little bit because I didn't want to. I had no objective to pass him. If we were on the same lap, I think this would have been a really good race. It would have been probably a back and forth on the straight. I'm giving myself probably more credit than I think I deserve because I legitimately was trying to catch up to him this whole time, and I don't. There's only been 2 or 3 times where I actually slowed down. Or maybe where he may have affected my race. He does have a higher I rating than I do, but I have a slightly higher safety rating. Mess up my shifting there again. I think I even thought I was in fourth during the race as well. Let's screw that up. Coming up on the red Audi. This Mike again? Pretty sure he was the race leader for the GT3s. There's only like 2 Audis during this whole race, so it's really easy for me to remember the Audis versus the numerous Mercedes that were in this race. I think it was pretty half and half on the number of GTEs versus GT3s. Didn't really lean one way or another. Maybe I do just stay in fourth. That's the second time I've seen that. Maybe I just haven't been paying attention very much. Still in slipstream range. I think slipstream range is under 0.5. Same as the blue flag. See, this is the other red Audi. He might be the one that's in first place. I just don't know. I didn't remember the names of the people. I just know when I had crew chief on, crew chief was just telling me that this guy isn't going to move out of the way. He's the race leader. I think it's probably pretty easy for everyone to recognize who I am. There's only one pink Porsche. We got a really good run on river here. I think this is the time where I actually legit back off right there. Yep. I didn't want to get too close to him, especially going into a turn. I think Rivers was he's P3, I think at this point. P3 or P4. I didn't do that chicane very well at all. I see I dropped down on the third. It must just really depend on how I handle that chicane. We will get into points later in the race where I do fast forward through the boring pits. He's going off into the pits. He let me know in the comms that he was doing that. I still thought that was really early. Here's where we actually start fast forwarding. People have dropped out of the race, so now there's a lot of empty road ahead. We notice on the ticker, top left-hand corner, River Hayes is still in the pits though. So I just passed Rivers in the pits. BMW was spun out right there. His back marker, not a big deal. We'll pass another back marker. Actually, he wasn't a back marker. We just passed Todd there on the track. We flew off to the side of the track there for a second. We're going to gain a few positions on this lap. We're in P4 now. We haven't gotten into the pits yet. We just came up to 2 back markers that I got to pass. He pulls off to the left side. Let's go. We get a good run here. Nope. Actually, that wasn't as good of a run as I thought I did. I was foreshadowing incorrectly. But he ruins my exit and he knows that he pulls off to the left side to give me some room. So it'll hold the inside. I don't get a great exit speed here. This BMW, is this George that I just passed? Yeah, George just pulls off to the side, lets me go. He's a back marker at this point. Now I have to go into the pits. Fast forward through this. You didn't see this. You didn't see that. You guys didn't see anything right there. We're going to come out of the pits. Let's see if we hold 4th place when we get back all the way around. See if anyone passed us while we're in there. We were in there for a very short time frame, so hopefully no one passed. There we go. Still 4th place. Ryan Rose in front with the BMW. See if he'll let me by. Showed him I wanted to buy at that first corner there. Maybe holding now to see if I can get him on the straight. It looks like he pulled off this side and let me go. At this point, I'm just like, I was happy with 4th. If I can hold for 4th to the end of the race, I'll be ecstatic. I showed this a little prematurely. The positions are now shown about the same corner there. This part's a little scary because I didn't realize this Audi was going to go so slow. Mike was really bad on that exit. He apologized for being in my way, but it wasn't his fault or anything. He didn't need to get out of my way at all. He holds the line. I'm just glad I didn't take him out. Now I'm in position 3. I guess the person that was in P3 might have been in the pit. I wasn't looking at the relative enough to catch that. Coming up on David. David's the guy, if you remember, orange tires and would always hug the inside of the chicane. Very stubborn about kind of letting me by. We'll see if he holds true to his normal pattern or he lets me scooch past. Not really concerned about anyone behind me at this time because the relative's pretty clear. I may be the only one on this lap. I believe I'm still a lap behind of the two leaders right now. First place and second place. I'm not hugely in a rush to get past David, but then 4th place pops up on the relative at 8 seconds. So now I'm starting to sweat it a little bit. And I'm going to need to get past David. And I was going to take it pretty easy at the end here. Just slow and steady wins the race. But once I saw 4th place come up on the relative, I was like, I gotta move. I did a horrible line, and you can see he's already holding the inside a little bit. So I'm just really afraid. I gotta really get the speed on the straight pass, and he is not letting me by. I'm still gaining time on 4th place here. It's up to 9.0 seconds. It was 6 seconds ago, 6.7. So still looking good. He's holding the inside again. See, why is he holding the inside? Why? He's a back marker and he's holding the position. Like, it makes no sense. So I push here. Try to stay up on his ass as much as I can. Push again. Push. Not the greatest. Get on the slipstream. Why he's like trying to get away a little bit there. I'm staying on the slip. And screw it, we're gunning for it. We're taking it. I can't be behind David. He has no reason to be fighting me like that. He doesn't even fight the person that's in front of him either. The person in front of him is 11th place. He's in 7th. 11th place says, in comms, go ahead and pass me. And he lets me right on by. Good thing I didn't choke right there. I have a habit of, when I try to get out of a bad situation or someone lets me by. I'm always worried that I'm just gonna go right off into the dirt. Almost did right there. I was like, whoo, when that happened. I was so scared. Still in third place. Yeah, so we've just hit, is that the 46-minute mark of the race? But we still have another 5-6 laps to go, it says. I think the race time up there includes practice, maybe. I don't know why the race time on the relative shows up the way it does. I'm going to speed past this because it's kind of not a whole lot of action going on from this point forward. Most of the GT3s or GTEs that were lagging behind disconnected or dropped out. River was the guy that was originally in front of me and pitted early. When I passed him in the pits, he was still in the pits, but he DC'd after that, so he ended up getting an 11-minute repair when he went into the pits, so he DQ'd out. Otherwise, I'd probably be in 4th place, or I'd be actually chasing him this time. Who knows? 4th place is now up to 7 seconds, so I'm really pushing it as hard as I can here. I was taking it easy earlier, but now I'm just going as fast, literally as fast as I can. Almost getting wrecked on the last lap. I think I said 56 laps, but apparently it's 53. That's the end of it. Finished in 3rd place. Qualified in 3rd place. Went to last place. Great race. I really enjoyed this first mixed race. Hope you all enjoyed it as well. I'll look at the results after we look at the gnome. Here we are. See, I got 3rd place. Also qualified in 3rd place. My best lap time was on lap 52. So you can see that's when I was really starting to push it. Worried about 4th place coming up on me. I was very unimpeded by any traffic on that lap as well, so that helps. My average lap time was okay. Higher than most of everyone else's that was below me, but 2 seconds off the other 2 guys in 1st and 2nd. A pretty good race. Hope you guys all enjoyed that. If you did, leave a comment. Let me know what you thought. Subscribe if you would. And I'll see you guys next time.